Hey everybody, Invisiblekatana here doing an unboxing for the March 2017 Lootcrate DX. This is the Primal crate. I did a unboxing for the normal one. If you guys want to check that out, there'll be a link in the description. The weird thing about this month's crate for me, as far as the DX crate, is that I actually got this by accident because last month I didn't cancel my subscription in time, so I would have ended up getting last month's build DX crate. And when I saw the franchises, I was like, that doesn't interest me. Like I wasn't really like pumped up for last month's crate. Like even the regular one, I was like, it's just build theme. And even when I got it, I was like, yeah, I don't like this that much. And so I was glad I skipped over. Fortunately, they added the option now where you can skip a month. So the money was already gone, and I'm pretty sure you can't get like a refund for it if you just get the crate and it stops. So I was like, well, crap, I definitely don't want the DX crate for build. So I'll just skip a month, and I don't know if you can keep skipping months, but I was like, I'll skip a month until I see something I want. And fortunately, as soon as Primal came out and I looked at the franchise, I was like, well, okay, I'll end up getting this. So that's how I ended up with this crate. I don't know if I would have bought it otherwise because of the extra money. But I am looking forward to this. I saw like a glimpse of one of the items already, and I couldn't tell if it was a wearable item. Based off of this crate, I don't think there's a wearable item in here. There could be a t-shirt, but there's definitely not like a cool hoodie or anything. And that's kind of what I every time I end up getting a DX crate, I always hope that there's a hoodie in it because I think that's cooler than just, it's like a t-shirt. So I got a sweatshirt one time, which I think was probably my favorite wearable item. Other than that, I've gotten like long sleeve t-shirts and stuff, but it's like, I really want a hoodie. So I'm gonna get into this. Those are a couple of things. This is in there. I feel like this was in the last crate for some reason, just like a random piece of cardboard to, I guess, keep something in place. So, okay. The first item is for Kong Skull Island. It is a ceramic mug. So let's check this out. We recently saw Kong. I did a review for that. If you guys want to check that out, I'll try to remember to put a link to that in the description as well. But I thought that was a pretty good movie. So this is pretty cool. Let's see what we got here. Kong. And it's bones for the thing. So that's pretty cool. Not bad. It looks weird to have like, it looks so detailed to me for some reason in the face, and then it's just like chopped off. It seems weird. Like I feel like it should just be the whole head. But I like that. That's not a bad mug. I'm not the biggest fan of mugs, so I always wish that they, if they never did mugs again, I'd be totally fine with that. I'm just not the biggest fan of mugs because I don't really use them. And even if I did use them, I don't really need a cup, that sort of thing. So it's like, still looks cool, but it's just, not that big of a deal for me. Let's go to the next item. There's something underneath. At the top here, we have, okay, this is pretty sweet. So this is a Loot Crate exclusive Predator Jungle Demon. So this is pretty awesome. And this says, they have a collection of figures coming summer of this year actually. And so it's 4 different versions of Arnold Schwarzenegger. I guess from, like the whole movie they went through like 4 different versions of toys. So there's 4 different toys you can get for Arnold. And then there's 2 more of the Predator. So this is of course the invisible version where he's, camouflaged and stuff. And then down here on the bottom you have the normal outfit, and then the very last is without the mask and the actual Predator face. So that's pretty cool. It changed colors like the chameleon. It uses the jungle. So this is actually a pretty awesome item. It's, like I said, it's a Loot Crate exclusive. This was the one I knew that there was a Predator item in here. That someone said that there's sunlight or something. So pretty cool. I wonder if, I'm curious. It seems like with it being clear, I just feel like, there could easily be a button on here that makes it light up or something. But I'm definitely going to take this out. And it's posable. It's not just a statue. It's like you can rotate the arms and stuff. I can see that in here. It's got like joints and everything. So I love that for sure because I like having posable figures. I'm not the biggest fan of like just statues. I like to be able to move my figures around and have them in different poses. So I certainly like that. I do like Predator. It's been a super long time since I've seen the movie. I don't know if I've even seen the entire movie. But I do like Predator. So that's a pretty awesome item. Got another fairly big item in here. I think this is the other, yeah. Okay, so this is another Loot Crate exclusive figure. This one I think is super awesome. Godzilla. I'm a huge fan of Godzilla, so I love the fact that there's a Godzilla figure in this. It glows in the dark too. It's Godzilla Reactor Glow Godzilla, and it's got. Oh, it doesn't have two tails. I thought it had two tails. You can't really see it unless I turn it this way. Yeah, so I thought that was just one of the tails, but the tail is so long they had to separate it, so you have to connect the tail when you take the figure out. And let's see. So it looks like the mouth opens up. It looks like this part of the head actually moves. The neck seems to twist. The arms are in 3 different joints, although we'll have to see if those can actually move. The hand itself is in 2 joints, so the fingers are connected together, and then the palm is separated, so you can have it open like this or close like that, so that's pretty cool. The midsection seems like they have the thing where you can kind of tilt it a little bit up and down, and the legs move, and I'm trying to see, it's so reflective I can barely tell if there are any joints on the legs. Yep, there are joints on the legs, so like at the kneecap you can bend the knee and everything, and I'm assuming you can twist the tail. I don't really know, why you would need to do that, but if you want to, you can twist the tail upside down, I guess. I don't know. This is awesome though. Very simple too. That's just the picture on the back. That's it. It's just Godzilla. So this is awesome. This is my favorite item in here for sure. I'm a big fan of Godzilla. I like King Kong too. I kind of wish one of the items, if I could switch it, I'd make it where I got a King Kong figure and a Godzilla figure, especially going into they're making King Kong versus Godzilla. That would have been awesome, but I do like this Predator figure. Plus, none of the mugs would, it wouldn't have really mattered. And I think that's all in here. Oh no, it's not. Holy crap! Okay. So we have a big comic book, a Lootcrate edition, by Vertigo Comics, Animal Man. I know I'm somewhat familiar with this character, not super familiar. But that's pretty cool. It's a nice thick comic too, so I think it's like a full volume. It doesn't really. I'm sure it'll be in the book, so I'll see like what how old this is and stuff like that. But it's the Lootcrate edition, so I assume that the exclusivity of it is the variant cover. That's typically the case, is that it's either a variant cover. Well, some of the worst changes were that it would be, instead of hardcover, softcover. I mention that like every time I get a book now because that was just stupid to me. But variant cover, I'm going to assume, and we'll check that out once I open up the booklet. And then here is the pen for this month. It is a nice size, really nice size. I think this is the biggest pen they've done, except maybe they had the one with the car on it, and that was, it's a car, so it's fairly wide, but this seems like the biggest one they've had, and it's just a really tall one, so maybe that's why it looks different. But nice Predator pen, so I think that's pretty cool. It's definitely one of my favorite pens that they've had just in general, so that's pretty awesome. And you can actually see, like, the eyes are actually holes. I know it's not too great if I don't really like zoom all the way in, but you can actually like see through the eye holes a little bit, so that's pretty cool. So we'll get into the, oh, that's really sweet. So this is the inside of the box for this month. It is Kong Skull Island. It's basically the actual poster. It's just in a different color. It's just like the red and navy blue instead of it being like orange and black. So that's pretty cool. So I definitely like that. That'd be cool. If it wasn't already bent up, if there's just a poster like this, that'd actually be a cool poster to have. But yep, Kong Skull Island. Like I said, I thought it was a really great kaiju, big monster movie. Highly recommend you guys check it out if you're interested. Let's see, we'll go into our items. And is this different? No, I guess it's not different. No, it's something about this is different. I feel like normally it's vertical, but it's actually horizontal this time. So we have the exclusive Reactor Glow Godzilla figure. No Primal crate would be complete without an appearance from the king of monsters himself. This highly articulated, which is always the best, this highly articulated Loot Crate variant from the 1995 Godzilla vs. Destroyer movie has incredible glow-in-the-dark details, just like Godzilla does when he unleashes his atomic breath, which is very awesome. The exclusive Predator pin. The hunt is on with this pin featuring an ancient Predator biomass. Now the exclusive Predator Jungle Demon figure, which makes it look really cool when you actually see it like out of the box like that. That does actually make it look a bit more interesting than when it's packaged up. So that actually looks really cool. They call him the demon who makes trophies of men, and it's not hard to see why. This beautifully detailed, highly articulated, always good, figure is made of a translucent material to replicate the Predator's jungle camo cloaking ability. So I'll skip down to the mug because they have the Animal Man thing. The exclusive Kong Skull Island figural mug. It's hard to fight off pesky humans invading your island when you haven't even had your coffee yet. So Kong's here to help you out just in time for the release of Kong Skull Island. And then we have the comic book for Animal Man. One of the biggest names in comics takes on one of its wildest characters. The result? Some of the most surreal and celebrated stories to ever grace the medium. Our Animal Man collection features issues 1 through 5 of Grant Morrison's character-defining story, wrapped in an exclusive variant cover. So variant cover, always better, so I can appreciate that. And I never read the comics that I get from Lootcrate, which is kind of dumb. I always save them, but I never plan to sell them or anything. So eventually I'm going to start getting into them. I might start doing it with this, considering it's like a full volume set. It's a 1 through 5 issue sort of deal. And I love those. Those are the types of things. For someone who doesn't buy comics, like I don't buy them weekly. I haven't done that since... I did it last year, and before that, I never did it. And the only reason I did it last year is because Back to the Future came out with like a monthly comic. So it still wasn't even a weekly thing. So that's the only time I've ever done that. Any other time, I always buy them just like this. Like I buy The Walking Dead. I wait to get the compendium, which is like 2 years worth of stuff. So I'll catch up, and then like, okay, well, 2 years later, and then I get the next one because they're like this big. And I'm like, well, I'll just wait. Like I'm fine with waiting like that. So I like stuff like this. You get a full volume. It's a nice thick set of stories, 1 through 5. So I'm going to check that out for sure. But this is actually a decent crate. This is pretty good. Let's see what they have. Oh, this is just the mega crate. As always, I wish I could win this. But for anyone who may not know what it is, I'll read it again. Because I always read it in my normal thing. But I do it in this one too. It's the Predator Legendary Encounters. It's a Predator deck building board game. Overwatch PlayStation 4 Collector's Edition. A PlayStation 4. I would love to get that. Every time I see a PlayStation or like a super big TV that's high def or a computer, I'm always like, man, those are the ones I really want. So PS4 plus Overwatch Collector's Edition for PS4. The Jurassic World Lego Indominus Rex playset. You have a Wolverine statue. It's the brown costume premium format figure from Sideshow Collectibles, and X-Men and the Wolverine Blu-ray collection. That's the actual movies, not the series X-Men or Wolverine and the X-Men, because there's an old cartoon called Wolverine and the X-Men, so it's the actual X-Men movie franchise, not just that old show that got canceled after a season on Blu-ray. Great show. I wish it didn't get canceled, but it was the whole thing with Marvel getting their stuff back and Disney buying Marvel. It canceled a bunch of different shows that were great. It canceled like that old Spider-Man show I love. Spectacular Spider-Man was the one, and then they canceled Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, which was, oddly enough, was on Disney before Disney actually bought Marvel. So they canceled like 3 great shows, and then they started everything over when Disney owned it because they weren't willing to pay like outside companies to do it. So it's like, that really sucks. They were doing so good with those shows. But this is a good crate. I actually like the DX crate. I think the value for this is certainly well done. Outside of the mug, I think the items are pretty good. Like I said, it's just... a mug's a mug, so you can always have a cool mug, no problem. I actually really like the art that they have on the box here from the film. So definitely some cool stuff. But like I said, it's a mug. I would prefer that because I'm actually, even though I've barely seen anything from King Kong, I've seen the last 2 movies of King Kong. I've seen the most recent one, and then I saw the old Peter Jackson one from like 2005. Those are the only King Kong movies I've ever seen, but if I could have, I would have swapped out King Kong for Predator. As cool as this item is, I would have loved a King Kong figure just because I'm a bigger fan of King Kong, even though I haven't seen like a lot of the movies. I just like King Kong. Don't really know why. Godzilla, I'm a huge fan of Godzilla. I've seen quite a few Godzilla movies, so that's awesome. Plus it glows in the dark, so that's really awesome. Nice size figure too, so that is just great. Both figures, Loot Crate exclusive as they say, so certainly any sort of Loot Crate exclusive figures are good, especially the fact that they're articulated figures. That bumps them up a little bit in my opinion, because some people probably won't care. But for me, like I said, I am not a fan, really. It's not that I'm not a fan, I just would never purchase one myself of just a statue. I always buy articulated figures, so basically if you're posing them like a statue, you can have multiple poses. So that's the only time I ever buy figures. So it's pretty awesome to see these being having like extra articulation. And now that I look at it, it has that thing on this one with the torso where you can like tilt the torso back and forth. So that's really awesome. And it doesn't have articulation on the hand like Godzilla does, where you can close the hand's just open. but you can like twist the wrist and stuff like that for both of them. Like I said, the arms are articulated and the head is as well. So that's very cool. And it also has loose fitting items. I don't know if it would really show up too well, so maybe if I zoom in for you guys. But like this stuff right here, I don't know how well it'll translate, but like the little necklace actually moves. So I don't know if that's translating in any way, shape, or form, but hopefully that did something for you guys. You're able to see it. But the little necklace and like the little grenade belt and stuff, those actually, those are just loose fitting items. Those are just strings. So pretty cool. The one big thing I always think of when I do like a DX crate, especially considering I got this one by accident. I didn't choose to buy this one. This was just like, crap, I screwed up last month, so I skipped and got this one. Would I buy it on its own? No. I personally wouldn't myself. And I think that's the case for most, like Loot Crate in general. I think that's really the case. I probably wouldn't buy any Loot Crates on their own. If I could pick and choose items, you know, that obviously that would be totally different. This, I would say, is probably my favorite one that I've gotten. Even from like the horror crate, which I thought was really good because I got like a really good wearable with the sweatshirt, which I love. But I got that. I actually got a mug in that one too. I got a Walking Dead mug, so it's kind of the same thing when I got that mug. But out of all the ones that I've had, I also had the, I forgot what it was called. Speed was the one, and I got like a Back to the Future DeLorean, and I got my Transformers. Actually, it's right there. I got this Transformers bag as a carrying case. And then I got a Raglan t-shirt, and I don't remember what else. I think those may have been 3 items. I got a DeLorean, which I already had the DeLorean, but this was the second one, so that way I could actually open it and play with it. So, you know, that was my favorite one for a time, and then getting this one, it's hard to say. I think I like this one a little more just because the 2 figures are such great figures. Even if I'm not as big of a fan of Predator as, you know, King Kong, I love highly articulated figures. They're both exclusive figures, so that adds a whole other layer to it. This one glows in the dark, so that's an extra layer for the King Kong, or for the Godzilla one. So honestly, this might be my favorite crate, even if I wouldn't have bought this myself. Looking at the items and seeing, you know, an exclusive, and these aren't tiny figures either. This isn't like, you know, and they typically don't do small figures for DX crates. But these are like nice size, what are these, like the 6-inch figures? Or not, no, these aren't 6 inches, really. Actually, it's an almost 6-inch figure. This one I think is a bit bigger. But these are really good. I think this is actually a really good crate. Even if I wouldn't have bought it myself, that's just because I don't even buy figures, like in general. But to have gotten a Loot Crate with these items, plus a full volume of a comic book, even if I'm not familiar with Animal Man too much. I know the character of Animal Man. I'm just not like super familiar with the story, but that totally fits, and I think it's good. Variant cover, always great, and it's a 1 through 5 issue, so you get a full volume of a story, and it's not just like here's one solid issue that's like 20 pages. That's probably, you know, that's probably like 40 to 50 pages. So that's really decent. So I definitely enjoyed that. Like I said, only thing that really disappoints me is just the mug. I just wish they wouldn't do mugs. That's just the one thing in general. Even the shot glass stuff that they do in the normal crate, I think that's better than just giving me a mug. And it's maybe because, like, I don't even drink that much, but my girlfriend drinks, and, you know, she'll use shot glasses. Every once in a while I might drink and I can use it, but I would never use a mug. I just don't. Unless it's like a big mug and it's like, well, I don't have a bowl, I'm gonna need some cereal out of this mug. I don't use mugs. And this one has a weird shape to it, so, you know, it might not get a lot of use. It's just like the Walking Dead one. I think my girlfriend used it once for coffee, but like I don't think I'll ever use that mug. But still think this is a great crate. I still really love it. I can't help but enjoy these. Even though I would never buy them, I can't help but look at these 2 figures and think, this is a great crate. This is definitely one of the best that they've done for DX. And it's just on the 2 figures alone, I think it's really, really well done. So I say it's definitely worth getting if you can, you know, get the opportunity to get it. But if you can't, I'm sure that there are going to be a million of these things up on eBay, and you can find Godzilla or you can find Predator if you choose. But I think both the figures are good. Mug looks cool, and I definitely appreciate the fact that not only is it a variant cover, but it's a thick comic, and that's always the best. I do wish it was hardcover. That would have been super awesome if it was a variant cover and hardcover. That would have been really, really cool. But even without that, I still think it's really cool. So I'd say this was a good crate. Like I said, even though I wouldn't personally buy the items individually, just because I don't really buy figures like that. I mostly save all my money for games or my next subscription to Loot Crate. I still think these are great. So I am happy that I got this. I do wish that if I could swap this out, just make it a wearable item or just something simple, just whatever. Little wearable King Kong item. Ooh, almost dropped it and probably broke it. But I do like it, of course. Would love to know what you guys thought about this crate, so please put your comments down in the comment section below. Let me know your favorite item in this crate, your least favorite item. What would you guys have swapped out? If there's a franchise that you think, maybe from the normal crate, if you would have swapped it out and put a better item into the DX crate and swap one of these into the regular crate, what would you have done? For me personally, it's just the mug. If I could switch the item of the mug, that's it. Because I really do wish that it was a better King Kong item, especially since the movie just came out. I wish it was like, that'd be awesome. I don't know if they'll ever do that, but if they had like 3 exclusive figures and then the comic, that would be nuts. They wouldn't even need the comic. You just have 3 exclusive figures. I'm like, yeah, perfect crate. That's all. Like, if you give me 3 exclusive items, as far as figures, I think that's an excellent crate. But I think this is definitely a good one. Like I said, though, would love to know what you guys think about the items that are in this crate. Which items would you have swapped out? Which ones you like the most? Which ones you like the least? So please put your comments down in the comment section below. And of course, thanks for watching.